Man, there is so much fun to be had at SIROWORLD 2016. Welcome back. I'm David Temple. I'm with Jim and Gene. We're just going to go first name basis because we've been sitting here bonding, talking about implant seminars and stuff. How are you guys?
Doing very good.
Excellent.
Talking about sports cars and football. Now we're going to talk implants. Gene, let's start with you and just talk. Tell me, how'd you get into implants anyway?
Well, I'm in a tiny little town up in North Adams, Massachusetts. Population about 12,000. And I've been there for about 25 years. How I got involved in implants was actually, I had a hard time sending stuff to the lab, trying to get things done because the labs were all real far away. So I decided to open up my own lab. And I had it open for about 8 years and wasn't really happy with what was going on with that. So I ended up deciding it's time to buy a CEREC because that way I have control over everything. CEREC was kind of like the catalyst that made it to where I decided to do more involved things because as CEREC grew, I grew. And then they got involved with placing implants. And then I figured I'd go back to the basics first. Even though I had done implants for about 10 years, I wanted to really understand the biology and really get a basic foundation of what implant really was. So I ended up taking Dr. Gar's course about 5-6 years ago. And over the last 5-6 years, the practice has grown tremendously because of that. It's amazing. You get a little bit of confidence from taking a good course and doing some live interaction with patients placing implants. Made it to where I feel very comfortable doing what I was doing.
So, Jim, we asked Gene, as to the how. How about for you, the why? Why implants?
Well, it was pretty clear to me. Like Gene, I'm in a small town as well, other side of the state. Virtually every patient who walks into the office wants to know if we place implants. I mean, everybody restores implants. My patients all want to know if I can put it in for them. They want me to do the surgery. So it became a natural leap. If I'm going to take care of my patients, every dentist gets sick of telling you need an implant. You were all set, you're ready to go. I say, you're going to have to go across town. You don't want to do it. And it became a natural extension of my practice. My practice is primarily crown and bridge. That's my bread and butter, better than half of what I do. Once we started placing implants, about roughly 3 years ago, that portion of my practice now equals my crown and bridge practice easily. And my patients love it. It's a referral base that can't be beat.
So you live on the opposite sides of the state, right? Is that what I understand?
I live on one side of Massachusetts, and he lives literally on the other side. But we've known each other for about 20 years.
Yeah. Now, how did you guys meet?
Well, I'm an early bird, and so is he. So we'd always get to the classes about an hour before the instructor got there. I always would sit up in front, and he always sat in back.
Yeah, I thought it was alphabetical. I thought I was supposed to sit in the back with the Yankowskas, but didn't.
And I wanted to make sure I didn't fall asleep.
Right.
So after about 4 or 5 classes, I'm very friendly. So I went to the back and I introduced myself to Jim, and I said, "Why do you always sit in the back?" And he goes, "Well, just in case I need to get out." I said, "You need to come up and sit by me because we're in the same state." So he and I have been friends for 20 years, and we've been going to all the courses together. He's my surgical partner whenever we go down to the Dominican Republic.
Well, that was the other part of it, too. Is at one of those seminars, I mentioned to him I wanted to find some place where I could actually sit down and really get the meat and potatoes of the surgery. Sure. I mean, I had the CEREC, I've got the Galileos. The technology makes it easy to plan it, but wanted to have that confidence to be able to take it to the next level. And he looked at me and he said, "Well, I'm involved with Implant Seminars," and I hadn't heard of them. So I checked them out, gave them a call. They checked me out. And here we are 3 years later. We've matriculated through the whole curriculum, and it's incredibly satisfying.
That's awesome. Now, can you tell me before we scoot out of here, tell me about some of the dentists that you meet on any given day?
The dentists down at Implant Seminars, most of them, we've actually encouraged them to go because a lot of them are CEREC doctors, and we have a great camaraderie. And what's really cool is with CEREC base, and they get a little comfortable placing implants through the CEREC knowledge that they get. And then through the Implant Seminars, we end up forming a bond with doctors that are CEREC minded and Implant Seminars minded. And my best friends live halfway across the country or on the other side of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to matter what type of meeting I go to, whether it's something like this, which is all technology driven, so that you've got a captive audience, or whether it's just the Mass Dental Society meeting, if I'm going to a local society. Almost every place I go, I run into somebody I've met through this whole educational experience, and it's bigger camaraderie than my alumni clubs from my colleges.
You want to share any kind of insights that you've had here at the Implant Seminars, or something you've walked away from this particular weekend with that's made a profound effect on you? Could be an impact on your future business?
I think it's where it's going. I mean, everything I hear now, the state where we're at now, where we've come from in the past 5 or 10 years, and what the vision they have for what we're going to be able to do in the next 5 or 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in private practice 32 years. I would love to be able to practice for 30 more to see what we're going to be doing for patients then. But the point right now is if you can get on board with it now and start to learn it, start to integrate it now, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing.
And what's really cool is the way Dr. Gar sets up the continuum, going to a live demo where you actually place 20 implants, and then if you do the master series, then you end up doing sinus lifts, bone blocks. Each time he teaches you a little bit more, and he builds on the foundation that you've already had. So it ended up to where Jim and I, we've actually taken all the courses. And what's really cool is we can go back, after you've paid for the course the first time, you can go back and sit in the course the second time, and it doesn't cost anything.
And you just mentioned Dr. Gargs, and I forgot to mention that. So give me an idea of who he is and the significance of that particular doctor.
Dr. Gar is one of the most amazing men that I've ever met.
Okay.
I consider him a very, very close friend, and his vision and how he is teaching general dentists how placing implants does not have to be difficult. It actually can be relatively easy if you ABC. And he teaches implantology in such a way that anybody really can walk away and say, I can do that on Monday. Yeah. And you definitely feel that you can do that on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Jim?
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably the single person in dentistry who's done the most for my professional career and all the time I've been involved with it. Sorry, Gene, you got second position. But the other thing too about Implant Seminars and Dr. Gar is his organization. I mean, I went into this and I wanted to be able to learn.
Yeah.
His organization takes care of everything from the infrastructure, from the very first person you call to the people who are coordinating where you're going to be at the meetings, if you're going to travel, where you're going to go, how you're going to get there. I mean, every single person is right on point with it. So you can actually just spend the time learning. You don't have to worry about the rest of it. They take care of it. Makes it really easy to integrate it. Really makes it easy to become an expert in your field.
Cool.
His staff is 100% behind him.
Wow.
And they're all amazing.
Nice. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out and talking. It's been fun.
Yeah, anytime.
It's been fun.
My pleasure.
Go Pats.
Take a short break, and more SIROWORLD 2016 is back after this.